Okay, sounds good.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our XRAI Pro weekly news. And today we have a special guest, Aditi. Aditi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, really nice to be here. I've worked as a UX designer and a product manager in AR and VR, a little bit in 2017, and then a little bit more over the past 2 years. I've moved to a different industry now, but excited to still be engaged in AR VR from the product perspective as this field grows. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh,
Welcome.
welcome. Yeah, so feel free to share your news and I will serve at the end.
Sounds great. So my news for today is it's actually news from May, but I think it's really interesting in terms of a business development. The news is that Lufthansa has partnered with Meta to offer mixed reality headsets in some of their business class travel. And I thought this was a really interesting mix of travel, which the Apple Vision Pro has talked about, using the Apple Vision Pro on travel to watch movies. And it looks like Meta has made this happen with a partnership. And it seems like a really great entertainment use case. So that's my news. That's what I like to talk about. Yeah. And I wonder, some of the things that make me really curious about this, it seems like this partnership is a bit of a pilot. So it's a pilot between Lufthansa and Meta. There's only a few flights and few airline classes that it'll be offered within. So of course, the first thing that I'm curious is, which flights are these? I want to get a flight. I want to try this out. But then also, I can see really interesting dynamics happening in terms of, in order to be ready for this AR VR experience. I'm curious what kind of content Meta already has. If you were Meta, or if you were an airline guest, I'm curious what kind of content would you want to see if you were handed a Meta headset. And I think another interesting thing is that, in a sense, airlines are already used to some of the logistic and operational challenges because they've been handing out, over the ear headphones. They've been handing out earphones that you can plug in. So they know how to handle the logistical operations. There might be some extra effort and extra, work because the Meta headset maybe needs to be charged, which their previous items didn't need to be. But yeah, I think these are some of the things that kind of come to mind. Yeah, so I'm curious, maybe Dom and Christine, if you were guests on Lufthansa, is there how would you want to use this headset?
Oh yeah, I was already thinking, oh,
Yeah.
it'd be so nice to be like in a relaxing landscape. I would definitely use it for some sort of meditation or escape
Okay.
type of, it's something calming, because yeah, flying can be really stressful. Even when you don't think it is, it kind of is. So and somehow you're drained afterwards. So I think having a moment where you could just relax, I think would be critical, at least for me. Uh that sounds really good. A good way to introduce people to this technology. Yeah, I really like hearing that news.
Yeah. That sounds cool. I love the idea of like relaxation. So would you go like meditation videos or ASMR videos? Like what's your means of relaxation? What would you use it for?
Good question. I think I like to be in really different worlds, and probably I'd want to be by a beach or something, something really pretty, or forests I think are really beautiful and calming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it would be more like the environment would be really important to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
More than the sound, the environment kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, and something that was really nice on like the Maloka app was they had like singing bowls. So, if you really do that the right way, it can really resonate even with it was amazing how I felt like that sound resonated around me. Yeah.
I like that pun. It can resonate. That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So it felt like maybe they were using spatial
I
audio.
think they were. And it was one of the more simple parts of that app, but it was probably my most favorite part. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so Well, it's hard to describe in words sometimes, but when you're
Mhm.
experiencing it's really impactful for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually for the upcoming guest, I remember his name is Joaquin Aviz. He has a company called 3D Sit Map VR. So if you go to our list of future speaker for the podcast, he is using immersive experience for the guest to visualize where their seat is. So,
Wow.
so for example, if you go to their website, let me see how I can share with you. Yeah, it's very similar to booking the seat, right? Because Lufthansa is pretty much you can book your plane ticket, but for that company, it's called 3D Sit Map VR. You go to their website and they have an immersive view, because some people just book their seat and they don't know how their seat looks like, because some people want, oh, I thought it's something, but at the end it's not what I want. So when you book that, and they have an immersive view before you book it. So for example, you see the 2D view and you can click, oh, I want this set, I want this set. But they have an immersive view. So you can kind of drag, it's like a 3D model, and you can drag, and you can also click that, and you immerse yourself and see around, like see if
Like,
this is,
yeah.
I mean, I think this is a very interesting way to kind of like mapping out the entire aircraft and see where you sit. It's one of their feature. Yeah,
very much. Yeah. And I'm also interested because I know we're going to have Charlie Fink on very soon, and he has been in the entertainment industry for a really long time. And I mean, it sounds really silly to say this as a consumer. I'm really interested. I know that I need to be entertained in planes, but as a product manager, I kind of forgot that, hey, airlines are some of the biggest entertainment, providers in a sense. And yeah, I thought this, I'm excited. Let's see if maybe Charlie Fink has any thoughts on this.
Yeah, and recently I saw like a Disney is kind of like creating another like a theme park. I forgot which news. Yeah, and I think because I saw one of the kind of influencer, Bob, he was thinking about changing the entire theme park into the virtual experience. So yeah, like a VR experience. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if everything is VR, then we really don't need to build something. But I think the real immersive experience is necessarily. But for people who couldn't afford the plane ticket to the location, maybe a teaser, the trailer, instead of 2D, YouTube videos, you wear it and you kind of feel it. And at least you experience a little bit. Yeah, something like that.
And Don, that almost makes me think about, like, you can have different entertainment venues. Like you've got Disney, which is a big, dedicated, very capital intensive effort. You've got to pour so much money into making a Disney park. But then you also have things like, Sandbox VR. You've got like bowling alleys, you have Top Golf. And sometimes I wonder, like, is there going to be will you have like a bowling alley effect in which maybe there's a version of entertainment spaces in which there's very accessible AR and VR activities to go and do with your friends, by yourself, in a group? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe there are, I would, because when I interviewed Charlie for the book, he mentioned that the AR VR is just a genre. Because I asked like, well, all the film become interactive or become VR. And he said that maybe he will change later on. I don't want to represent him, but pretty much VR is a genre. For example, like, oh, I can read there are different ways to access news. You can, right now you can go to, for example, like later on I will show Perplexity, like the AI chatbot, they provide the news. I mean, ChatGPT is providing news. It's not really released yet, but I pretty much right now, I think that I will show you like a Perplexity's news.
Right.
It's so good. It has like it's summarized for you, and it has all the source links.
Yeah.
And wow, it is just like a very convenient, and because if you search Google for news, there it's all ads, sponsors, Google ads in the front for the first page. So it just so there are different medias, and VR just serve as one media.
One more medium.
Yeah, Christine, any thoughts?
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll talk about that probably more later, but like, I see probably similar to what you're saying is VR as an art medium. That's what I'm using it for. So that's the main reason I like it.
Okay. That's so exciting.
So I would like to see how I can make a story even more interactive, so you feel like you're a part of the story. Yeah.
Love it.
Cool. So so Christine, do you want to share your news?
Sure. I'll share my screen so we can take a look at my news. All right, here we go. And and speaking of the entertainment industry, I thought this was a good follow-up story to a story we talked about before. And Hollywood, there's the Hollywood union that is called SAG-AFTRA is announced just a few days ago a deal with Narrative, which enables actors to sell advertising rights to replicate their voices with artificial intelligence.
Oh, wow.
So that's good. They finally came up with a deal where they're going to pay them. So I thought, woo, finally.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And yep. And then, so this is, I think, just strictly for advertising. And later in this article, I do like that it mentions the legislation called No Fakes Act has been introduced to Congress. And that gives every person a right to own their own voice and likeness, making AI copying without permission illegal. So that's great. And the Motion Picture Association and Recording Academy and Disney support this bill.
Oh, wow.
And so one question I had, when I saw this article, so I went to the website for Narrative, was what if you don't want to, you don't want your voice on a certain campaign? And there is, so it does say on their website, if you go to the frequently asked questions for this, it says talent has 72 hours to review and either approve, reject, or negotiate the campaigns.
Wow.
So you can approve or reject those campaigns. So I thought, well, that's good.
That's lovely. Yeah, that's lovely. And I saw it on the website for Narrative, I saw an FAQ around who sets the price. I am very curious about. Yeah.
Let's do that. Talent sets their own price. Hey.
All right. Okay.
And they have minimum prices that range $385 for 4 weeks use to $2,420 for 21-month period.
Okay. So
and non-talent can set rates.
Wow.
That are below these minimums desired.
What's the standard between talent or non-talent? Are we all talent or not talent?
I think it's non-union talent.
Non-union.
Oh, non-union.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sorry, I might have said that wrong.
After, But okay.
Or below this minimum. What below 385, you can equal 0 is minimal as well.
Good,
so
yeah, you could.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous. So they encourage you to join the union so they can charge you membership, right?
And I guess you also get some protections too, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah. So
that
that was good news. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I have a thought about this. Like, would this mean, is this almost becoming like semi-passive income? I don't really know.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you record once and then they can use AI to use your voice over and over and modify it and stuff with your permission, which I think is wonderful. Like it reduces the work while still bringing that income stream in for actors. So yeah, if that's how it works, I mean, I'd be interested in signing up too, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, later on, I will have another news, which is somebody clone himself digitally, like
Oh.
face and also all the talk, and his real person and his digital clone and Fox News anchor, and three of them are talk about things. And he
Wow.
also launched a website which allows everybody to kind of make a clone version of themselves and do the consultation business. So for example, you can go to sleep and your AI will take all the consultation calls for you and earn money for you, which is very scary. I was like, and what if we all upload ourselves to the cloud, and what could we do? We just stay at home and doing that. I don't want to say nothing, but you have a robot to do, for example, game development, and you put all your knowledge and you should go to sleep. And if you can clone one, you can clone multiple, right? Like imagine Christine, you have a team of Christine and work on things, and you don't have to do anything, and you just get a lot of contract. And yeah,
I thought of this. I know.
Wait,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, you first, Christine. Go for it.
Oh no, I was just going to go to the next news. So
Yeah,
finish your thought and let's. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's a couple of books that I think of which explore this idea that you don't have to work anymore. So there's what, like in the book Eragon, where there's the dragon, and there's a dragon called Saphira, and it's a whole, like, it's a very epic type of story. They have a race of elves, and the elves can do magic, and because they can do magic, like the magic means that they don't really need to work anymore. They can magic food in, magic a dwelling. It's great. And they kind of explore how these elves then turn into really creative pursuits. So they get really deep into their hobbies and what they enjoy as a way to pass time. And then there's also a book, I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but it's one of those classic, like, future it's a little dystopian, and it talks about, like, there's no need to do work anymore, so everyone is just, their mind is being numbed with entertainment that's being provided by big companies. So it's like two different takes on what happens when we don't have to do work anymore.
Yeah, cool. What's next?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So next, kind of going off of that, is Pindrop just released a new product called Pulse Inspect. And so it's an AI generated speech to find. So what it does is it finds synthetic speech to make sure that to detect deep fakes. So I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, that's
so that just came out this week, and NPR did say that the accuracy is really good compared to its competitor.
Wow.
And that's in here somewhere. Here. Okay. It reported, so NPR reported as 40 percentage points more effective than its nearest competitor in an independent study. So it will detect if that's kind of interesting to think about. So if you allow your voice to be used, like our last article that we talked about, then Pindrop finds out that it's synthetic because AI generated it. Will they know? Like, so now I'm kind of confused about that. It's like an extra layer there.
It is.
Yeah. When you think about that. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. In some cases, like, in some cases, you do need to know whether it's a deep fake or not. That's
definitely.
Yeah.
But then what if someone approved their voice? So that's where I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's like, was this it's the consensuality matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess they'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So I'll go to I could go to the next one to make sure we go through. Yeah. it's always good to see that they know what's real and what's not real. So I do like that, I have to say. And then this is interesting. I feel like I heard about this before, but this was news this week that Exists launches a generative AI platform to create 3D games from text prompts.
Wow.
So, yeah, so there's no code and it's going to be in a closed beta right now. And they're inviting users to sign up for early access. And they're going to showcase this technology in a couple conferences that are coming up. There's, let's see where those are. So there's Gamescom coming up really soon. Or no, maybe that's, I don't know when Gamescom is, but also there's, oh yeah, that's the one I think. Yeah, that's the one that it's talking about as I'm reading. Yeah. So I wonder how these are images from from what it created. So I haven't checked out the website, but it should be interesting to see.
Should.
Yeah, what it can create. It said everything from game ready environments, characters, play mechanics, and models. So we'll see.
Yeah. This reminds me of how at one point only very technically advanced like videographers and video editors were able to make video content at all. And then like TikTok, Instagram, they put these video editing softwares and video editing tools right into the apps. And now everyone can make a reel. And honestly, like a reel it's a little movie, right? And everyone's making it and it's so democratized. And it still takes a lot of effort to make a good reel. I don't think everyone can make a good reel. So I wonder if this has a similar effect. It kind of if that,
Yeah, I think they want to have the same idea of democratizing, creating games. But I agree with you. Then it's going to be like, well, what's the quality game? Yeah.
Yeah.
So So I still think that's where the human comes in to create, to curate and edit what AI.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's what I think. All right. And then I thought this was interesting to know that now you can use the MetaQuest as a screen for HDMI devices. So if you really want that big screen experience, you can do that now. There's no need for additional hardware, but there is. I said there is need for additional hardware, capture cards. And so it does mention that here towards the end. So once you install this, the MetaQuest HDMI link app, once you install that, you connect a video source device to the capture card's input, and then you connect that dongle directly to the headset. So, and the resolution's going to be limited to 1080p at 60 FPS, but it will provide that big screen experience without a projector or to have the video feed positioned in a smaller window alongside other apps.
Oh, wow.
So I thought some people might be interested in doing that.
And let me see if I understand. It sounds like this would be useful for any content that you have playing in like an app on your phone or on a laptop, but maybe they don't have an app developed for the MetaQuest natively. But you can kind of use your MetaQuest as a display monitor almost. It sounds.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, really cool. That sounds very valuable. Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely things on, that I've wanted to see a 360 on the Apple Vision Pro or a 360 on the MetaQuest, and maybe they didn't have that app available. So yeah, this sounds wonderful.
Yeah, now I'm just looking at it again. Yeah. All right. And then my last piece of news, I just always think it's good to think about manufacturing the hardware, and like where we're at with some of that. Absolutely. And so this was interesting. So Vuzix. I don't know if I said that right. Vuzix. Okay.
I think you got it.
Okay. Enhances its waveguide manufacturing with a new micro touch technique. So this is improving the yield to like boost production. And they can use more fragile materials with this without things breaking as much. So their goal is like with this new technology, they can bring more affordable AR smart glasses to more people. So I think that's what's good news on this. And they go into some of that, those technical aspects here, where it's a really complex multi-step process to manufacture the production of waveguides.
That's right. And
yeah,
I know we don't think about the manufacturing process as much, but
right.
I did hear that, like, I can imagine one of the toughest parts of getting this device out to us is that it has so many moving parts. And I'm sure the failure rate is high, and anything that can reduce that is great.
So that's what I've got to share this week. Dom, what do you have for us?
Okay, cool. So let me share my news. Okay, so this one. Okay, so the first one is called there's a co-founder. It's called Delphi. I don't know how it named, but Delphi AI co-founder and CEO clone himself. This is the AI clone version of him.
Oh my gosh.
And this is him, real person. And this is the anchor who is like very terrifying, like, oh. And this person pretty much has a company, which is kind of a terrifying company. I don't want to say terrifying. It's just maybe in the future it's very normal. And we are, maybe in the future, maybe 10 years or 20 years from now, everybody has tons of digital version of themselves, or one, I don't know, like, and so for this company is that you upload everything about yourself, everything, like for example, all the videos, blogs, every work you've done, upload it, and it will become a chat bot for now, but later on will be a video call, so it will be a meta human in the 2D in front of the 2D screen, and will talk to you. If you want, we can have a little test. I'm just too scared to try it, but if you want to see,
I don't mind. I'll do it.
Okay.
I am too scared to try it, but it sounds cool. Like I would like a digital clone of me sometimes for certain
I'm a little
situations.
scared. Okay, so if you take a look, I think they have something called Browse.
Oh, Browse clones too. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much you can see. Oh yeah, this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So there are so many human clone, and it's like a one-on-one session, coaching session. Imagine if you want Elon Musk to teach you how to run a business. Elon Musk can upload everything and make a kind of a digital human, and you can book a call with him, and he maybe it's a charge or pay session, and while you're sleeping, that thing will I would say kind of profit for you. So if you go here, right, start a call with this person. I don't really know. Is that even legal to record a session? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like this person is talking to me, but I really don't know. So I'm like a little terrifying. I know when I press this button, there will be a digital human talk to you as a representation of that person. And you see, maybe this one is you have to pay, maybe, but you see like you can do chat bot, or you can do a call. I personally find this is very intriguing, and especially for consulting business, right? Imagine like if somebody who is very big and very busy and upload themselves and as a chatbot, and you just pay, like, I would say, a little bit cheaper than person, that would be great. So if you see this, your clone will know you well because it learns from the content you provide. You can upload a blog post, a video, and other materials that reflect your knowledge and style. The clone explain, plus you can engage in an interactive Q&A session to fine-tune its response. Very terrifying. And I think that this one is also
I'm like, I don't know about this.
I don't know about
I feel
this.
like you'd have to be pretty famous to do it. I don't know
Well,
because
what,
I
what,
don't think anyone would want to talk to a virtual version of me, like unless I was a celebrity. I don't know, maybe.
like they'd rather talk to the real version.
But they would want to talk to the real version. Yeah.
Well, I want to see, could you click in on the use cases?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
use cases.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm just very terrified by this news. So you can chat with everybody. And I saw they put every dead people, celebrity but dead, and they become like like this.
Yeah, that's true. Like I saw there's professors and teachers.
Yeah,
I saw a sales version, which
a
was,
sales version. Okay,
thought
give me a sec. It's very hard to get into this browse page.
Yeah.
Browse page. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
this one.
Okay.
that's it. Yeah. And I think the top ones,
Okay.
like how to build. Yeah, so the top stuff that's scrolling when it says how to break into the music industry. I feel like one of them was a sales piece. And yeah, I could see, all right. So now the art of public speaking, that's reminding me of like Khan Academy and a lot of these like e-learning. Yeah. And like e-learning, like I want to be able to maybe I'm not very good at public speaking. I want to learn to be a better public speaker, and it's too expensive for me to sign up. Maybe I don't want to go to Toastmasters, something like that. Oh, this is fascinating.
Yeah, this is great, right?
I want to try this out later. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Try it. And you can have a call with Voltaire.
Mhm.
Wow, this is crazy. Can I just connect? Let's try it. I think Voltaire, I won't get sued.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Greetings,
think
I'm
so.
Voltaire. What philosophical questions are on your mind today?
Can you hear the voice?
Yes. Yep. I can hear.
What's your thought about the current education system?
The education system. It seems to me that while there have been advancements, many of the same flaws persist. Education should liberate the mind, not shackle it with dogma and rote learning. Just as I criticized the rigid structures of the church and the aristocracy, I would argue that today's education often fails to promote critical thinking and intellectual freedom. Instead, it frequently emphasizes conformity and memorization over genuine understanding and curiosity. What are your thoughts on how education could better foster independent thought and creativity?
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And right now, there are a lot of AI chatbot. How do you think that AI chatbot can help a teacher to foster students' critical thinking?
AI chatbots, when used wisely, can be valuable tools for fostering critical thinking in students. By providing instant access to information and posing challenging questions, they can stimulate curiosity and encourage students to think deeply. These chatbots can simulate debates, present multiple perspectives on a topic, and even introduce skepticism. This aligns with the philosophical stance I championed: skepticism and the questioning of established norms. However, it is crucial that these tools do not replace the human element of teaching, but rather complement it. What other ways do you think technology could enhance education?
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, it's a good answer.
It's a good answer. I am curious, like, number one, I think it's very impressive. Some of it felt like the stuff that ChatGPT would just tell you.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like that. It's not
just
really
dress it up.
Voltaire. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're just dressing it up with Voltaire, but really it's pulling. Yeah.
Well, it's ChatGPT
still.
something. Yeah. So
fun,
like,
I guess.
if we go and ask like Aristotle, would Aristotle have a different answer, or would it be the same?
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. I don't know. Maybe we never know. So let's try.
Yeah.
So we know this is Voltaire, which is very safe, right?
Yeah.
Aristotle. Okay. Aristotle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Greetings, I'm Aristotle. What philosophical questions are you pondering today?
What do you think about the current education system?
The current education system often emphasizes theoretical knowledge over practical application, much akin to patients who listen to their doctors but ignore their prescriptions. True education should cultivate both the intellect and the character, nurturing virtue through habituation. As I have previously noted, we must begin with what is known to us and be brought up in good habits from youth, delighting in and being pained by the right things. This approach instills a balanced understanding and a virtuous character, essential for both individual and societal flourishing. How do you think the practical aspects of education could be better integrated into the current system?
What do you think about how can teachers leverage chatbot AI to facilitate critical thinking for students?
Teachers can harness chatbot AI to facilitate critical thinking by engaging students in Socratic dialogue, prompting them to question, analyze, and synthesize information. These chatbots can provide immediate feedback, challenge assumptions, and present complex problems requiring deep analysis. By simulating real-life scenarios, they can help students apply theoretical knowledge practically, fostering an environment where active learning and critical reflection become habitual. How do you think this approach?
What do you guys think about those two? Are those two fits what they are supposed to say?
Well, at least they were different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't they did sound different. So
And
I think so.
yeah. And I have heard, like, I might be mixing up my philosophers. I don't know a lot about them, but I think Aristotle maybe was a student of Socrates or the other way or something like that. And so I feel like it's a good reference, you know.
Mhm.
It's a good reference to Socratic method. And
Mhm.
and what I also find interesting is Khan Academy, which it has educational videos and it's an educational online learning platform. I think it actually is incorporating Socratic method type of chatbots into its product. So it's also a decent idea, which I don't know if it's a new idea because Khan Academy is already doing it, but I mean, decent idea coming out from Aristotle for sure.
Yeah, so let me show you another news. Let me kind of bring it up. Okay, so this one is that what teacher told me about AI in school. I mean, right now I'm like teaching pretty much, I'm coding a course, which is called Coding for Designers and Artists.
Okay.
And at the beginning, I'm going to teach, I'm currently teaching coding, but I am thinking about, I will teach GenAI tools for students, and they will utilize all the GenAI tools to create assets. So I personally believe that why not just embrace the AI, because AI pretty much doing the labor parts of the work. However, for middle school and K-12, right? The thing about that is that if you let the students to access AI, which is great, helping out, facilitate, and also if we hear like a previous like Aristotle their talk, they think that chatbot can help facilitate thoughts. But if you see this kind of like a teacher's feedback, they think that sometimes AI will have a hallucination. So when students talk to AI, they kind of confused. For example, like the biggest issue isn't that student might use it to chat. Student might have been trying to chat forever, or they might wind up with absurdly wrong answer, like confusing Moses with Mr. Clean. Something weird will be, it's like will mess up their brain pretty much. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
because it has a confident answer. For example, I asked a lot of questions. For example, I asked laws. Previously, I want to create a trademark for XRAI Pro, and I got returned because my friend attorney, he said, oh, if you want me to do it for you, I will charge 1,000 per an hour. I was like, no, I will do it on my own. And I started using chatbot and just kindly ask him, like, can you review it? Is that possible? Because this might be a better solution for me to save my cost. And I use GenAI, and he said, oh, actually it's pretty good. So I kind of semi-trust ChatGPT, because sometimes it's absurd, but sometimes it's really good. So you don't really know what you don't know. So that's why Perplexity is an amazing tool. I will share with you later. So my thought is that, yeah, just like I don't know, Aristotle said, or whoever said that, this is very important for teachers to get into, to teach them like, oh, this is wrong, this is right. So it's great that AI is helping us, but by all the hallucination and without knowing where the source is, it's very likely to be fooled. And since they were really young, and it's a little bit harder for them to know what's right or wrong. So I think for the implementation, maybe start with more assisting, and later on, maybe when students grow older, like college, they might have more judgment. But the younger one, I'm just like wow, the chatbot needs to be more like a Perplexity. Later on, I will show you what good thing about it. And the other thing is that UC Berkeley is offering advanced law degree with specific AI focus. I think this is a great thing, because right now we all know that we need a better law enforcement. For example, like because right now it feels like all the data, as long as it's online, as long as you can grab, it's all free for big company to train you without really aware of it, and they just do whatever, and later on you will hear, for example, like before when 11 Lab just started, I clone my voice, upload my voice to it, and later on I saw there's a list, and it, because my nickname, I put myself as Domi, DOMI, just quick. And then later on I saw the list, there's a Domi. I was like shocked. It's not my voice, but it's the name to say it, and it was a very early stage. So I was like, am my voice being trained some AI? But I couldn't tell.
Oh my God.
But I can tell that, okay, yeah, because if you see 11 Lab before, it has Dami, and I hear it's totally different from my voice, but you can tweak the frequency, you can tweak a little bit things. So maybe my entire voice was already being cloned, being sold, but I couldn't tell. So that's why I was like, ooh, yeah. So maybe, there might be more. And I what I like about this program is that they work with people from Meta platform, from the real industry. Because sometimes a lawyer doesn't really know what's the industry doing. So when there's multiple subject matter experts to facilitate the program, to teach something more like a technology side for the attorney or lawyer, I think that might be great. Because right now I feel the disconnection between the current lawyer. If you see some law, or like some people are kind of recording some hearing from some committee or some senator, you can tell they don't really know what's going on in tech session, and they are very old. Like one of the hearing that Mark Zuckerberg has is that one old senator asked Mark Zuckerberg, what's Facebook selling? And Mark Zuckerberg just say, oh, we sell ads. Like those people doesn't really use technology, and they are the person who legalize the law and trying to help us. I feel like a very disconnected. So I think this is a great thing. Okay, I know the time is almost up, and I'm just wanna show you Perplexity. It's a very hard to pronounce name, Perplexity, but it's really good, because if you go to Discover, right, and it will give you all the news, and you can type, for example, AI. It will slowly become my news. Yeah, so for example, I can just go to Discover, and they will put all the things. I think there is a kind of like it's in the thread. But anyway, I think I'm still trying to get familiar with this. This is all the news according to your chatbot information, and they will kind of like, oh, I know you are interested in something, and they will give you a customized news. And the good thing about it is that, for example, if you click this, it has generate images and it has facts. And if you want to see this, you click this. It's the reference. So it will tell you they are not, and there's like a related.
Very cool.
And you can also upload all your things, right? So this is great. And somebody is going to use AI to price your food. Kind of scary because sometimes the food will be more expensive. So just the way it is.
Thank you. That's really exciting news.
Cool.
Great
I
news.
just like it very quickly. Okay. Does anybody want to closing it? Because I want to cough.
Christine, do you want to go for it? Yeah.
Oh, I don't have the script though. Can I just thank everyone?
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you next week.